Yeah, just come off. Please come off. It's trying to. It's gonna make me, it's gonna make me have to get in there with a razor blade. And have you ever seen a seat from 1967 that looked this good? Guys, it is time to pull the cover off of this. Here we go. Just kind of peel it back, man. Oh, golly. Did I say this was easy? Because if I said it was easy, please forgive me, because I obviously had no idea what I was talking about, as usual. Hell, it should be daylight in about an hour, so I would say by the time we're done bleeding the brakes, we could probably take it out on a test drive. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds, where we don't ever rebuild anything on this channel. Haven't you seen this channel before? No, we don't do anything around here. We sit in a chair and we talk. Okay, so here's what is on the agenda today. We got a lot to do. Today, obviously, we're working on the very rare 1967 AMC Ambassador 990 that we paid $2,500 for. We got a lot on our plate today because today the goal is relocate the fuel pump, check the fuel lines. Fuel pump needs to go from the front where I have it in the engine bay. It doesn't belong there. It belongs in the back of the car close to the fuel tank. So we need to relocate the fuel pump, wire it up. We need to fix the fuel sending unit. The fuel level sensor or whatever is not working. We don't have a fuel gauge. So we got to fix that. We got to wire up the new fuel pump. We got to check for any leaks in the hoses. We're going to remove the vinyl top from the car because that thing is hideous. We're taking the whole vinyl top off of the car in this video. We are, in this video, going to cut the plastic off of the back seats. Yes, I know a lot of you are going to be mad at me. You didn't want me to do it, but it's been on there since 1967. It's 2020. I think we can safely remove the plastic at this point, and let's see what those seats look like underneath it. On top of that, we are going to fix a broken brake line that runs the entire rear brakes of the car. And then we're going to bleed all of the brakes. And then once all of that is said and done, we are going to attempt to take the car that refuses to drive out on a drive. It never fails, guys. Every time I get this car ready, it won't run. So let's see if it's going to do the same thing it always does with me, or if we are today going to be able to take her out on a nice little drive. And if it does, I'm going to buy a brand new set of tires for it. I'm going to set up an appointment with the AutoSpa LLC, and we're going to get her cleaned up. You know what? I think we'll probably clean up the interior a little bit today too, if there's time. If there's time, we'll clean up the interior as well. If not, we'll have to leave that for another day. But I'm excited, guys, so we're going to jump into this video right now. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get done in this video, but the main issue I'm having with the AMC right now is a fuel supply issue. A lot of people think that it's a clog line. I don't think that's the issue. I think the problem is I have a gravity feed electric pump that is supposed to be mounted by the gas tank, and instead I've got it mounted right up by the engine. That's way too far from the gas tank, and I've got it mounted above the gas tank in the engine bay. Not good. That's not how gravity feeding works. I need to have the pump at a lower point by the fuel tank of the car. So the real goal here is to get the car to where it actually will run on its own and stay running. Right now you can get it running, but then it cuts out randomly and dies. That's a brand new Holley carburetor, so I'm sure there's no issue there. I'm probably going to delete the fuel pressure regulator. I don't think it's really necessary since this is a V8 and the pump I have for it is like a 5 to 7 PSI pump. I think this pump is probably fine. It's a Mr. Gasket. New fuel filter, I've got two of them. I got a fuel filter here. I've got a fuel filter down there at the pump. So I think the main thing is just to remove the pump and get it relocated underneath the back of the car by the fuel tank. From that point, we have a broken brake line right here. Basically from this hose rubbing, it's an air conditioning line, has been rubbing on this hose for so long, it actually has worn a hole into the metal line, so we don't have brakes probably to the rear. After that, maybe we can start trimming up this top. Yeah. I wonder how easy. Oh, it comes off pretty easily. Yeah, maybe we can just cut it right here, trim it down, and maybe we can make it look a little bit better so it's not so embarrassing looking the way it is right now. And once we're done with that, I think we can get inside and actually clean it out, wipe it down. It's still got spider webs everywhere. Vacuum it out, and maybe we could take it for a drive. I don't know. I don't know how far we're going to get today. For the broken brake line, I'm probably going to use what most of you would tell me never use, but I'm probably going to go buy a compression fitting and maybe a little bit of extra line. And hopefully we can bleed the brakes, patch that line, have all 4 brakes functioning, have the fuel issue resolved, and get this thing basically running and driving on its own. Once we can get it to where it will reliably run and move under its own power and stop safely, I think in another video we'll come back and we will start addressing ignition components. You know, definitely the lightning cap, the swirly thing, the lightning hoses, and the sparklators. Can you tell? I've been watching Vice Grip Garage, like binge watching this dude for the last couple days now. He cracks. He obviously knows his stuff, right? Like, obviously he knows his stuff. He's just being funny for YouTube. And I just love Vice Grip Garage's videos, man. He makes this so much fun. So yeah, I think that'll be the next step. Don't worry, I'm not going to start imitating him because I don't want to copy what somebody else is doing, obviously. But let's jump into this. Step number 1, since I plan on removing the regulator because I don't think it's necessary, we'll just disconnect the hose all the way up here. And then we will disconnect the hose from, where do I want to disconnect the hose? Actually, I probably need to take it, yeah, I don't know. Let me figure this out. All right, so I did a little bit of this without you, and that's fine. The goal is actually get this thing running on its own, and unfortunately, this camera, my GoPro, is kind of hard to put on a tripod, and it's hard to see down in there. So here's what I did. Okay, we've got the fuel line run here, fuel filter here, and then this hose I've got loosely zip tied to here. This hose I've got loosely zip tied to here. This way it keeps this hose from rubbing up against metal, keeps the hose from going anywhere I don't want it to go, and then it runs all the way down to the main fuel inlet line, which is under there. So this is all done as far as the fuel system goes. Now it's time to get under the rear end of the car and find somewhere that we can safely mount the fuel pump. And we're back, and my eyes are eating rust. Boy, I should be wearing some safety glasses. I'm not even joking, like, I really should be wearing some safety glasses. There's just so much crud under this car. This is the fuel tank. This is above the fuel tank. This is the passenger side going that way. And what I'm looking to do is install the fuel pump something like this. Right about here, actually. I think that, right about there would be perfect if I can keep the hoses out of the way, as you can see, of the shock absorber there. Now, with the new shock absorbers that I'll probably install here, they won't have the helper springs, so we shouldn't have to worry too much about that, but we do have to worry about it for now. So I think if we just finagle with it a little bit, we can actually get this in here. So I'm gonna have to drill a couple holes, and I don't want to go too low and I don't want to go too high, so I'm going to mark this, and then I'm going to start drilling. Okay, and up here. Holding the camera and a drill at the same time can be cumbersome. Let's take a ride underneath the car where, hey, the gas tank is not leaking. How about that? That's positive. Speaking of positive, there's my positive wire, and now you can kind of look up here and see my handiwork. This goes from the sending unit, which is somewhere down here. You probably can't see it, but this runs up, no kinks, to the fuel filter right here, to the fuel pump, then out to the inlet for the carburetor. Now I've got this power wire temporarily rigged up here. I'm not going to keep it this way, obviously. We need to run this through the trunk, then through the car, through the firewall, and to switch to ignition. But for now, just to make sure all of this is functioning before I go and wire everything up permanently, Let's try to start the car and see if she'll run on her own. And at this point, the fuel pump should be on switched ignition. I still think I should probably put a fuse. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go ahead and put a fuse on that fuel pump just for safety. But, oh great, I don't have the key. Once we turn the key on, there's the key. These are the original keys too, guys. Like, they have the AM logos on them and everything. Look at this. Yeah. Okay. American Motors, here we go. If I did this all right, if everything is good, we put the key in the ignition. I hear the pump. I hear the pump. Okay, before we attempt to start it, it's going to take a minute to prime. So I'm just going to do one quick look around. No leaks. Nope. 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 No leaks. And we're going to come back underneath the rear end. Just double check that we have nothing leaking under here either. No leaks. Okay. Our bowl should be full now. If this is functioning, it should fire right up. I'll be. Here we go again. This is not good. Well, guys, let me tell you, it's been hours. It's been hours. And I think we finally gotten to the point where we can say we're making progress. Some of the things I've done, I don't think you guys are going to like. And I understand. We'll start with, assuming you can see, there's a new brake line right here. And you know what that is? That's a big no-no. That is a, that's a gator gripper. That's a, I keep forgetting what it's called, man. A compression fitting. You're not supposed to use those on your brakes, guys. So please listen to me. Don't ever do what I do. Those don't go on your brakes. But as a temporary fix, I have used it on my brakes. Luckily, that brake line that was broken appears to only run the back brakes. The front brakes were working fine on their own. Most of your stopping power is from the front brakes. So front brakes have been good this whole time. Back brakes, however, were non-existent. We have not bled the brakes yet. We're going to be doing that here in just a little while. Fuel pump has now been removed. Fuel pump is now relocated. I'll show you where I put it. Hopefully you guys like it. And I found a broken line under here. Golly, that light is super bright, isn't it? I found a broken line that I didn't even know was here. And it kind of surprised me. Hopefully you guys can see up there. There is the fuel pump. And we've got a red wire running down here, which obviously will be power. I've got it running through the trunk. I'm still buttoning all that up right now as we speak. But the hose I found, guys, it's almost impossible to see, but right there at the top corner of your screen, that hose was broken. And it's interesting, because it wasn't leaking fuel, but apparently it was sucking air. I think I still have part of the hose here. I used another part of it as an insulator for a metal line, but there it is. I mean, look at this thing, man. I had to cut it off. It was just junk. I had no idea. So apparently we were getting air into our fuel system, and that was wreaking havoc on the car's ability to run and prime the pump. So anyway, pump mounted there. You can see I got a couple wires here that I'm still taking care of. A red and a blue. I found that the fuel gauge does work. I've run these wires following the track of the original wire harness right here through here. Okay, the original wiring harness does go through here as well, and through here, through this channel, all the way into here. And I know the light's flickering. Red is fuel pump, okay? Blue is fuel gauge. So somewhere along the line, something between the fuel tank and the fuel gauge got cut. What I did though is I pulled out the dash. I pulled this whole instrument cluster out, ran the fuel wire directly to the fuel gauge. Fuel gauge went up to about half a tank, just under half a tank. I also fixed the right turn signal, and I fixed the lights for the fuel as well so that we can actually see. So that's where we're at, guys. What I'm going to work on right now is buttoning up this wiring, making sure everything is good to go. You can see I've got the battery disconnected, of course. And then we've got a couple things left to do. We have the seat out right here so that I could easily access that wiring harness. But I think we're gonna, boy, that stuff is still, yeah, it's time, guys. I know a lot of you said don't do it, but I'm gonna take the plastic off the seat. You know why? Because I can. It's my car. I wanna take the plastic off the seat and I wanna see it. The plastic's deteriorated anyway. It's not in the best of condition, so equipped with foam pad. One other thing I found in the car underneath the back seat. This was really cool. This is a 1970 registration, 1970 state of Kansas. There's the identification number. There's the plate number, CO10054. It was they called it a 1967 Rambler 4S. And the price to get this thing registered was $12.50. Belonged to Kenneth and Catherine Huff from Winfield, Kansas. How cool is that? If we have time tonight, and I don't know if we will, because it has literally been hours trying to get all this stuff sorted. The fact that it wouldn't run, I couldn't get it to siphon fuel, and I couldn't figure out why. I made sure all the hoses were cleared, there was no clogs, and that's when I found that leak, because I put air pressure through the fuel system backwards, and gasoline shot out of that hose, and I was like, ah, looky there. Next, we do have this, and like I said, I can't guarantee, boy, that stuff just comes up so easily. And that's not rust, guys. I know it looks like it's a weird adhesive, like a spray adhesive type thing. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to peel this. I hope we can get to that in this video, but I still have a long way to go. We have not vacuumed the interior yet either, so we'll be back here in just a couple minutes. This was a dirty job. Boy, I'll tell you what. Those are the original American Motors floor mats. There's a wad of carpet that the carpet just deteriorated in the front, guys, unfortunately. But I wanted to bring you along to peel the plastic off of this. I have cleaned this up. I also got in the trunk and cleaned all the loose, scaly rust out of it as well. It's really not that bad. I think we've got everything put together. I'll attempt to fire it up here in just a little bit, but for right now, what I want to do is I want to grab a hold of this and just, I've already started peeling it, all right? But right here, listen to that, right? Wow, oh wow. It's a little sticky under there. This is not, wow, that is beautiful, guys. Look at those patterns. I don't know how well this, come on, yeah, just come off, please, come off. It's trying to, it's gonna make me, yeah, it's gonna make me have to get in there with a razor blade and just cut as much of this as I can. Okay. All right. Wow. First time since 1967 that seat has been opened to the air. That is crazy. I wanted to show you the underside of this seat too. Have you ever seen a seat from 1967 that looked this good? It's literally perfect. Underneath, the springs are not rusted. There's no rust anywhere under here at all. Just gonna have to be very careful cutting this off because I definitely don't want to damage it. Guys, it is time to pull the cover off of this. Here we go. First time. Wow. Oh, wow. Look at the tag. She's beautiful. Oh my goodness. I can't believe how excited I am just getting these covers off. Oh, I can't wait to get this seat back in. So I guess the question is now, do I feel bad about cutting the plastic off the seat? My answer is no. I don't feel bad at all. The plastic was burnt to the back of the seat. It took me over an hour. I don't know how well you can see through the window. In fact, you probably can't see it all, which is a good thing. But it took me almost an hour with a razor blade scraping back there just to get the burnt plastic off as best I could. And it's not all off. Some of it was actually, it just stuck to the seat, permanently damaged. So now I guess we're coming to this part, and boy, man, it needs to be done, I guess. Darn it, I really don't want to do this part. This part has me more nervous than doing the seat, guys. The plan, since this is metal, I guess, it really doesn't matter, right? You just take a razor blade, and I guess you just kind of start. Oh, that's thick right there. That's real thick. Golly. I feel like before this is over, I'm going to end up hurting myself pretty badly. Okay, let me continue with this and see where we get. Okay, so with a razor blade, this has become a little bit easier. Let's see if we can just kind of peel it back, man. Oh, golly. Did I say this was easy? Because if I said it was easy, please forgive me. Because I obviously had no idea what I was talking about, as usual. Okay. Wow, look, it's coming up as a nice sheet. Yeah. All right, here we go. Oop. Well, that's not exactly what I wanted, but I'll take it. Golly, this stuff. I feel like this is going to be time consuming, you know? Oh yeah, here we go, getting just down to the little bitty pieces. See if we can get down there a little bit. Well, it's just one of those things, guys. I'm going to have to work on it. It's going to take a while, but we're going to make it look a lot better. Several hours later, let me tell you guys something. If you don't know, let me inform you. Getting a vinyl top off of a car is a major undertaking. But as you can see, we did it. We got it all off, guys. We sure did. Yes, even over here, up there, and boy, let me tell you something, the pillars. Oh, even the pillars, man. This is turning into a long night. It is now Friday. It is about 4 o'clock in the morning on Friday. And I think this car is finally almost ready, not quite. I still have to bleed the brakes, so I'm gonna cheat and use my vacuum bleeder. I just wanted to show you guys that we knocked that out, man. And there's still, stuff's got to blow off, man. But we got it. She's looking good. I think she's about ready to go, guys. I do. I think she's about ready to go. Now, my shop, on the other hand, I just cleaned it when I got through with the MG, and as you can see, I've got, I got crap everywhere, man. But that happens. I get so many of you that yell at me like, I can't believe you work in such a dirty environment. Let me tell you what I do, guys. I know a lot of people clean up immediately after each little job. I don't see the point in that. I clean up when the job is done, not each little job. When the whole thing is done, when I'm done making this video and the car rolls out, then I clean up and we do it all over again, which almost defeats the purpose of cleaning up. But there she is, guys. What do you think? I think she's looking a hell of a lot better. I'm going to bleed these brakes, and at that point, we're going to fire it up. Hell, it should be daylight in about an hour. So I would say by the time we're done bleeding the brakes, we could probably take it out on a test drive. Well, guys, as you can see, the car is no longer in our garage. You know what that means? That means it started, it ran, and it drove somewhere, right? Man, we got a lot done today. All the brakes are bled. Brake line is fixed. All the brakes are working. Fuel pump relocated to the back. Fuel lines patched, fixed, repaired. Fuel gauge fixed. Wires run to the new fuel pump from the front of the car. Switched ignition all the way back. We fixed the dash lights that were here and there. Sometimes they worked, sometimes they didn't. Dash lights are all working now. We took the plastic off the seats. We got the vinyl off the roof. We vacuumed out the car, got all the spider webs and everything out of it. And I'm telling you, I've sat here right in this garage. It's not quite daylight yet. It's still dark. And I was like, I'm going to take it for a quick spin and I'm going to see what it does. Well, guys, I literally backed it out the door, got it into the street, half cockeyed, and it died. And I'm like, fuel pump is still running. Fired right back up, but died almost immediately. This has been the same thing it's been doing to me constantly. The thing is, in my garage, sitting right here, it sat here and ran fine. I started it repeatedly. No problems until I go to take it outside. So I'm like, okay, I fill the bowl with gasoline. Fires right up. Definitely a fuel problem, and I know what all of you are going to say, and you're probably right. Fuel tank, Randy. Fuel tank. Yeah, you're probably right. The thing that gets me, though, is I thought we had a clogged line to begin with. I ran compressed air through the fuel lines. They were all clear. Fuel filters were both fine. Everything was working the way it was supposed to, except for finding that little piece of fuel line that was cracked. So I don't know. I'm obviously, after doing all of this in one sitting to get this one video out for you guys this morning, it's probably like 4 o'clock in the morning now. Oh, it's almost 4:30. Yeah, so it's almost 4:30 in the morning. It is Friday. Oh God, it's Friday the 13th. Oh, okay, I should have known. It's Friday the 13th. Okay, that explains everything. I still have to edit the video. I'm not going to get to bed till 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm not complaining about that. What I'm complaining about is that dang car. That dang car. I felt like we were so close, man. The little bit I got to drive it, the brakes were so solid. Man, we're going to have to do something about that gas tank. I've read a lot of your comments. I've done a lot of looking around myself, a lot of research. I'm not having any luck. As far as finding a radiator shop or something that can boil mine and patch it, maybe. I'm really aggravated. I'm not mad. I'm frustrated because I literally have been up all night wrenching on this car, trying to get it going for you guys. And it's such a big disappointment to me. And it's probably going to be a big disappointment to you guys. And I hate that. I really hate that. I feel like I let you down. I'm sorry that things didn't work out the way I'd hoped to. But regardless, we got a lot done. I am honestly considering doing the following. I am thinking about finding a fuel cell. I know. I don't want to. I really don't want to. But I'm tired of this cat and mouse game. That tank is going to continue being a problem, so I think I'm going to start looking for a fuel cell for it. You know, it is what it is. The goal is what? To get it back on the road, to make it run and drive. Putting a fuel cell in it shouldn't do any like permanent damage. It can be removed, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm just. You know what I need? I need a new car. I feel like I need a new car. I'm tired of working on the MG. I'm really tired of every time I get the AMC done, it doesn't run. But it's to be expected with a dirty fuel tank. There is a join membership button down below. It's like $1.99 a month. It goes a long way to help support the channel when things like, you know, this car happen and things like that that AMC. I don't regret getting the AMC. Not one bit, guys. It is a very rare car to see in the condition it's in. The underneath the vinyl top is in perfect condition. I got an idea for that, but I'm not going to tell you what it is, and it's not Rhino line, but I think you guys, it's not vinyl either. I think you guys are going to like it. I think it's going to look really good. And then I think it would be worth sending it to the auto spa. I need a set of tires, obviously, a fuel cell, a set of tires, and then probably send it to the auto spa. I think he could do wonders with that paint and the chrome, man. The interior, there's not much more we can do on the interior. The seats in the back are perfect, pretty much. The seats in the front have a few tears in them from mice. Not much we can do about that. The carpets in the front are pretty much shot, but the car is in great shape. I think with a good, solid compound, I think the auto spa could probably make that thing look really, really nice. Definitely needs a set of shocks too. So we'll get to all that later. But again, join membership button down below. It's $1.99 a month. It just helps me with all of, you know, the stuff that you keep spending money on. They're money pits. That's what they are. They're money pits. But they're enjoyable money pits. I love working on them, and I love making videos for you guys. So, folks, I am out of here. I got to get this video edited. But thank you all for watching. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not currently subscribed. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, Auto Auction Rebuilds. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I will catch you all very soon, tomorrow, in fact, with another Copart walk-around in the next one.